counting me out, built me from pain. Try to break me, but I don't break. Came from the bottom where survival was law. No guidance, just pressure. Had to learn through it all. Seen things that'll change how you think and move. Now I speak truth for the ones still stuck in that loop. This ain't motivation, this is transformation. No excuses, no shortcuts, just elevation. From the hood to the holy, yeah, we shifting the mindset. If you still playing small, you ain't ready for this, yeah. We breaking cycles, we building, man, we taking everything back and we not going back again. This is the hood, the holy fix shop. Failure is not an option.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mashawn Hirschler, and welcome back to the Hood to Holy podcast. Last episode, we talked about survival mode, but today we're going deeper because even if you leave survival mode physically, you can still be stuck mentally. And that's where most people are at. They changed their environment, they changed their situation, but they never changed how they think. So they keep repeating the same cycle over and over, just in different places. Today, we're talking about the mindset that keeps you stuck, because until your thinking changes, your life won't.
Came from the bottom where survival was normal. Pain in my story, yeah, the struggle was formal. Lost in the system, didn't know my identity. Now I'm rebuilding everything that was meant for me. From the hood to the holy, yeah, the shift is real. Had to change how I think just to learn how to heal. No more running from the truth, had to face what's inside. Now walking with purpose, got God on my side. Yeah, we breaking them cycles, yeah, we changing the code. From survival to purpose, yeah, we carrying the load. If you ready for change, then you already know. It's that hood to holy, where the real ones grow.
You don't have a life problem, you have a thinking problem. We're going to talk about the difference between victim mindset and ownership mindset. Victim mindset says, this happened to me. Ownership mindset says, what am I going to do about it? One keeps you stuck, the other moves you forward. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you are responsible for what you do next. What I mean by this is that I can be a victim. Okay, so my mom kicked me out at 9, went to foster care at 13, was in the penitentiary by the time I was already 18. Went to the penitentiary 4 times, did a total of 10 years altogether. And I can be like, man, this stuff happened to me. I didn't have no control over it, right? The environment that I was in, my mom being addicted to crack cocaine because she came through the crack epidemic. And I can be like, man, all of this stuff happened to me. And because it happened to me, I don't have a choice in the way that my life turns out, in the things that I was doing. Now, granted, when I was in that lifestyle, I used to feel that, man, I could never be nothing more than what life was introducing to me and what I saw around me. And it wasn't until I was sitting in a penitentiary and I was learning how to read and write at the age of 22. And as I walked across the stage and I graduated with a 3.5 GPA, and I realized at that very moment, life isn't the circumstances that was placed before me, nor am I defined by any actions that I have done and taken. Now, what defines me is, what do I do about it? Yes, the cards are stacked against me. I'm a felon. I got out, right? And I had so much adversity against me. Yet at the same time, I can be poor me, or I can say, man, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to stand up? And how am I going to face this head on, all of my situations? How am I going to move forward in this process? How excuses disguise themselves. I don't have the opportunity. I don't have the opportunity for that because I don't have a car, because I don't have this, because I don't have that. Man, I don't have no resources. Man, every time I get out, man, the baby mama, man, she's always hitting me up for some money. I don't have the opportunity. Nobody's giving me the opportunity because of the way I was raised and because of the environment I was raised in. Man, I didn't get the opportunity, so somebody owes me. Nobody showed up. Another excuse, right? Nobody showed up for me. Nobody showed me. Nobody showed me how to do this. Nobody showed me how to do that. Another excuse is, I'm just not ready yet. Man, I've been going through all of this stuff right here. Man, I need to go to school. I need to study this. I need to do this, and I'm not ready yet. What? What do you mean you're not ready? I don't have the opportunity. Nobody showed me. I'm just not ready. Excuses don't sound like lies. They sound like reasons. And these are the reasons that we give ourselves. We are in a victim mindset saying that, man, I didn't have the opportunity in life. I didn't go to the upper class middle that was in a different neighborhood. I went to the school that was down in the urban section and the poor school, right? They didn't have the updated books. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. And so because of that, I didn't have the opportunity. Nobody showed me, so nobody sat down and mentored me. I'm just not ready yet. These are the things that we use to justify our laziness, and we stay stuck in a victim mindset, which also keeps us in survival mode. So even if I leave to another city with brand new opportunities, nobody knows me, nobody knows nothing, and I can recreate anything that I got going on in the city that I'm in. I don't have to leave physically to recreate something. I can do it within the city that I'm in. Every excuse you make is a permission to stay the same. Sometimes people just don't want to leave the chaos. They're happy with the chaos. They're happy with that lifestyle. They're happy with the drugs. They're happy in that frame of mind that keeps them stuck. Because in order to truly change, you have to be able to put in work. You cannot sit on your ass and just think that change is going to happen overnight, because it doesn't. Excuses are the things that keep you stuck. Your thinking creates your direction. Your decisions come from your mindset. Your habits follow your decisions. Your life reflects your habits. If I do not have positive habits in my life, meaning that I get out and instead of getting up every day and setting a routine, whether I'm doing something or not, whether I am feeling like I'm productive or not, man, I gotta create positive habits. Also, I gotta surround myself with positive people, meaning I gotta show up to new places that I probably would have never been before, in order for me to change the habit. But your decisions come from your mindset, so it's always for me. It's always, man, this happened to me. Then there is no room for creativity. There's no room for being able to think outside of the box, except for whatever box life has thrown your way. Unfortunately, man, life ain't fair. Life ain't fair for nobody, right? Your life reflects your habits. What are your habits? What are you doing every day that is preventing you from moving forward? Man, I was just talking to somebody today, and I just told him straight up, man, you don't have to go to college to get an education. Man, there is so much media and social media and a ChatGPT, AI, books that you can read, you can study in order to elevate yourself, man. But the question is do you have the determination to make that happen? Is your mindset saying, yes, I can change my outcome and my circumstances and my situations? Or is it saying, no, I can't. I'm always going to be like this. I'm always going to be depressed. I'm always going to be like this. I'm never going to be able to do the things that this other person is doing. Man, all you got to do is just do it. If you don't change how you think, you'll keep building the same life. Man, I don't know how else to say that, but man, it is a key, vital portion of change, that if I do not change my mindset, I would never build nothing different than what I have already built. Comfort in dysfunction. People get used to chaos. Peace can feel uncomfortable at first. Growth requires unfamiliar decisions. Man, when they say people get used to chaos, this is so true. If you grow up in a chaotic environment where people are yelling and everything is busy and everything is moving and people are doing this and and it's just going and going, you finally get to a place where there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of noise. You don't have to look over your shoulder every day. You don't have to make sure that nobody is messing with you. It is uncomfortable. Peace, true peace, is uncomfortable, especially when you was raised and grew up in a state of chaos and unfamiliar decisions. and making a decision that you're not used to. So somebody cusses me out, man, I don't got to cuss you back out. Something happens in my life, I don't have to respond the same way I always responded. I can learn how to respond differently. It's called emotional intelligence. A lot of people think that, oh man, I can't change the way I am. I got mental health issues. Man, yes, mental health is real. Yet when I was diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenic, manic depression, and I was diagnosed with all these things, what I realized is that I was being diagnosed by people who didn't even really know me. And if you're going to diagnose me, you're going to put a label on me, I'm at least going to understand what you're saying. So what I did is once I started learning how to read and write, the first thing that I started reading was depression, mild depression, major depression, manic depression, right? Bipolar. And I wanted to understand what these symptoms were that they was telling me. And what I found in those books was that there were coping skills that you can do on a regular basis to bring yourself out of those modes. You do not need a doctor to diagnose you and to give you medicine and think that this is the only solution that I have, when there is literal research that proves that there are coping skills that can help you manage these things. Now, am I against medicine? Not at all. I believe that medicine can be a good form of a way of getting you to a place where you can start practicing and establishing these habits that you need in order to get off of the medicine and function, so that way you don't need it. Right? And the thing is I'm not a professional doctor, so I don't know. But if you go to your doctor and you tell them, man, I want to get off my medicine, well, they're going to help you wean you off of your medicine, and they're going to set up counseling sessions. They're going to set up stuff. People want to run from their problems. That's the problem. Everybody wants to run from their problems. They want to run from the chaos of their life, and they want to try to pretend that it didn't happen and understand why that they're always just blowing up all the time. They're always acting out all the time. They're always getting in the fights. Everything is always going bad, ending up in jail. They're in and out of relationships. Like, come on, man. Like, the reason that is because you're not dealing with nothing. Just because it feels normal doesn't mean it's healthy. So just because I'm in the projects and I see everybody selling drugs and I see everybody out here doing this, that doesn't mean that it's normal, even though all of the adults around me are doing this thing. That doesn't mean it's normal. Because honestly, if I sat down with any one of them and asked them, man, why was you doing this? They're going to tell me, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm just trying to not forget about some stuff. I'm just trying to forget about some stuff. That's it. Okay. The shift starts with awareness. Catch your thoughts in real time. Question your own reasoning. Replace reaction with intention. Catch your thoughts in real time. Meaning that when a thought comes into my head, man, I'm going to grab that thing and I'm going to question the reasoning behind the why I had that thought in the first place. Where did it come from? Where did it stem from? How did I learn it? Where did I learn that from? Does that help me? Does it help me be productive in life? Is it going to benefit me in some kind of way? Or is it going to harm me? Is it going to hurt me? Is it going to cause me to stay stuck? Is it going to cause me to move backwards? If I respond a certain way, and the way that I respond, is that going to cause a ripple effect that is then going to keep me stuck in a cycle? The problem is everybody's stuck in a cycle. Okay? Question your own reasoning, man. Look, man, when I was out there in the streets, man, I believed in the things that I was doing. Man, I listened to all the rap songs, man, all the rappers, right? I listened to all of them, man, and I used to believe in the thug life. Man, I used to believe in that stuff, man. I used to believe in gang banging. Man, I used to sit back and I would worship gang banging, fam. And the thing is that where was this reasoning coming from? What was it doing? What was it doing for my life? What was it doing for me? Now, I'm not talking about these social media people that are running around here doing this and that, right? And they're going into the hoods and they're seeing this and like they're trying to glamorize this life. Man, when you actually live that life and you come out of that life, man, you don't want to go back, because you realize that the reasoning behind the things that you was doing was just creating more chaos because of the pain that we was carrying as men, and the only emotion that we can show is anger and violence. That's it. That's why young men are running around here causing violence. That's why young men are out here lost, because there is no men stepping up in their environment that is trying to teach them a better way, a different way of how to handle yourself. They're not disrespecting women, right? They're not trying to just run around and having sex with all these women. They're not trying to create more chaos out of the chaos of their own life. Replace reaction with intention. Stop reacting to things. Stop reacting to situations and be intentional about your actions. A man that does not stand on his word is a man that is standing on nothing, and I don't want nothing to do with that person because that person can be swayed in any direction. You gotta be intentional about everything that you do, and if you don't know why you're doing it, don't do it. Change starts the moment you become aware of how you think. Man, if we're always running around in the victim mindset, all this stuff is me, man, I'm triggered by this and I'm triggered by that. Man, come on, man. Like, if you are not aware of how you think, you can never change the patterns that keep you stuck in a state of chaos and keep you going around in circles and circles over and over again. We got to stop feeling sorry for ourselves, and we got to start being aware of the way we think. At some point, you got to stop explaining your situation and start changing your mindset. Stop trying to explain to everybody why you are the disruptive, destructive, chaotic person that you are. Stop trying to explain it. Stop trying to get people to agree with your behaviors and agree with your chaotic lifestyle and make it seem like because of this reason and this reason and this reason that this is why I do the things that I do, and you should just accept it. And if you don't accept it, then I need you to get away from me because I need to find people who's going to understand me and my situation. Stop trying to explain your situation and start changing your mindset. Once you change your mindset, there is no need to explain situations that has happened in your life, and they don't become situations, they become testimony. It becomes a living testimony. When I tell you, man, that I was in the streets, I was living that life. My mom and my mom grew up in shelters, fam. So all I knew was homeless folks. All I knew was a homeless lifestyle. Man, in 1 year, I went to 7 different schools. But the thing is that if I sit here and I try to explain to people my situation and why I couldn't read or write and why I'm not able to do this and why I'm not able to do that, then what I'm saying is that I need somebody to come in and save me. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to be the one to change your mindset. And the only thing and the only person that can truly save you is Christ Jesus. And if you're not giving your life to Christ, man, then I don't know what you're doing. But if you don't change your mindset, your situations ain't going to change. You got to put your mindset on something greater than yourself. Because nobody can think for you and nobody can choose for you. This is on you. If you're listening to this, I want you to pay attention to your thoughts today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Catch yourself when you make an excuse. Catch yourself when you blame something on somebody else. And ask yourself one question. What would it look like if I took ownership right now? Because the life you want isn't far away. It's on the other side of a different way of thinking. This is the Hood to Holy podcast, and this is where the shift begins.